So finally, it's review time again, and I know I haven't posted anywhere near frequently enough recently.
I have been neglecting my duties as a host. Please accept my apologies.
Now I'll go into the reasons later, but we're starting again this week, and we're starting with something a little bit strange because we've had a good few weeks to earn. We've had the Hangar week, we've had the Mackenzie Airfield week, so over the last few weeks you should have earned an absolute shed load of money. But what are you spending on? Well, this week it's a really good spending week, but I thought I'd start with a couple of cars that I haven't reviewed before. And we're kicking off with this one, the Zorusso, the Pegassi Zorusso, if I can say it. And the reason I didn't have this one before is because, well, I'm going to be honest, when I look at it on the website, I kind of thought,
your faces offend my mirror.
And yeah, that was it. That was my whole reason. There was nothing other than that. I just thought it was too ugly to own. Now, that's a very personal thing. I don't like it, a lot of people do. But I thought, for this one, I'm going to get this review done. I'll get this one out first because this is the prize ride this week. And it's not a difficult challenge, and it is quite an expensive car. So I've just gone and bought this one because obviously I forgot to do the prize ride challenge. But on offer this week, this is about 1.3 million. Which is a reasonable saving because this thing's usually going to cost you about 1.9 million. But is it worth it? And can you make it look good? Well, this car is actually based, now bear with me, I've got this written down, I really have, I've definitely got this written down somewhere. This is based on the Ital Design 01
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that's what you're all thinking, now that's what it is, it's the Ital Design 01 I know it was on the tip of all your tongues. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either, and when I saw it in the game, I just thought it was hideously ugly, but when I started looking into it a little bit more, I found this photo, and that's when I thought,
Hello there.
maybe I can do something with this thing. So we head off to customize this thing, and this is where I'm going to talk about one of the little tips that I've done in customizing this, because what I wanted to do to get it to match that image that I found online is to get a pearlescent matte paint job. Now I have talked about this before, but not for quite a while, so I thought I'd just recover how you do it. So I did my normal customization on this, maxed everything out as you would expect. Now the car actually drives really well without everything being maxed out, and when you do max it out, to a certain extent it does get a little bit twitchy in areas, but I will say it's a significantly better drive than I was expecting. It's in the supers class, and I suspect it's probably going to end up being one of the slower of the supers, but it's certainly not a slow car, and at 1.3 million, or at free if you pick it up from the prize ride, it's definitely worth it. So back to this colour, this is what I wanted to match, and the way I wanted to do this was to take a matte colour and apply a pearlescent finish to that. Now, if you've tried this before but not had much success, you might think it's not possible, but it really is, and it's incredibly easy. Now, there are a couple of different ways to do this. A couple of people have different ways to do it. This is the way I do it, and it always works for me. So this will only work in an LS Customs. You can't do it in any garage that you own. But if you want to get this sort of finish, do all of your customization, do it in your auto shop if you want the discount, then drag it into an LS Customs and apply the matte base that you want. Then go into the metallic paints, and you'll notice if you do look that the pearlescent paints are all disabled at this point. But go into the metallic paints, just you hold your finger on the down button on the D-pad and let it scroll through all of the list, maybe 2 or 3 times. Then go back out of that, go into the plates, change your plate for a different colour, then go back into the paints, and now you'll be able to choose a pearlescent finish to add over the top of your matte paint job, and it really is worth it. Now we'll just start the top speed test here. and we'll come back to this in a second, but it really is worth it, especially if you choose a dark base colour and then a light pearlescent from the same range of colours. You can get some really, really cool effects. Now this isn't exactly like the car I saw on the internet, but you know what? It's pretty damn close, and it's certainly close enough for me, and close enough that I think this has made this look like a really nice car. And on the subject, here's the top speed it managed to do. So what about the rest of this thing? Well, in stock trim, it's actually quite nice to drive. It's really quite chuckable and controllable. You can barrel this thing into a corner and give it a touch of handbrake, and you can get a nice controllable slide. Much more satisfying than a drift from a drift car. It's just, in stock trim, it just feels really nice. To a certain extent, I think I might have spoilt it by upgrading it fully, because obviously I've maxed the engine out, suspension and all that, and it does make it faster, but it makes it twitchier and arguably slightly less enjoyable. So that comes to the question of what are you going to use this thing for? Are you going to use it in missions? Are you going to use it for racing? Or are you just going to use it for posing and messing about on the map? And if it's the latter, I'd almost be tempted to say, do you know what? Do your cosmetic upgrades, but don't necessarily bother with everything else, because as it comes, it's really nice, really fun. Yes, it's not the fastest, but it has a huge amount of fun factor, and I like that. And if you do all the upgrades, yes, it makes it faster, but it's certainly not going to make it fast enough to compete with most of the other cars. So I guess the question I need to ask myself is, why did it upgrade it? And the honest answer to that is, because I always do. And maybe I should think about that next time before just going max out on the upgrades. Now that said, I've already recorded my next video and I went max out on the upgrades on that as well. So I'm not really living by what I'm preaching at. So as we come round here, final thoughts and review. What do we think of this thing? Do you know what? This is a rare car in many ways, because this is one of only a handful of cars that I've changed my mind about. I remember I had this with the Xeno where I thought it was disgusting, but by the time I customised it, I was really happy with how it looked. And it's the same with this. Looking at it on the website, I thought it was absolutely disgusting, but by the time I customised it, I was actually really happy. You've got some decent options. You can bash some of the ugly off it quite easily. It's really good fun to drive. And the big thing is, if you get on with this now, you can get this for free. Because the prize ride challenge this week is to win an LS car meet race for 2 days on the trot. Now, if you follow my link over here to how to win the drag races, you can absolutely do that before the deadline in a couple of days time. You can easily pick this up for free. If you've got plenty of money, it's only 1.3 million. To be honest, I was happy. Spending 1.2 million on this, I was quite happy. Now that I like it, I kind of wish I'd have done it through the LS car meet, but I wanted to get this one out for you. And here's the time it did. And it's actually quite reasonable. Mid 8 minutes is a decent time, so 8 minutes 36. The first half of the lap was clean, but the second half not so much so. So for an 8 minutes 36 on what I thought wasn't a particularly quick car, that's actually fairly respectable. I'm quite happy with that. So here's where it sits on the lap board. And that's it for this one. And I will see you in the next one, which will be out in just a day or so. I hope you've all been enjoying the streams, and I'll see you soon.